Hey guys, what is going on? It is Ando. Thank you for coming out to this video. So today is going to be a little bit different. Normally I stick to kind of Grand Arena and those kind of videos, but today is going to be kind of like the typical YouTube video. I just wanted to do it because I was thinking about it. I posted the question to my live stream. We got a bunch of different answers, but today is really just going to be looking at Star Wars Galaxy of Hero in the year of 20. Did they did they meet their expectations? They gave us sort of their layout of the year. They kind of hyped us all up. And I kind of want to ask the question back to you guys. So, and what I need from you guys is to just, hang out, enjoy yourselves, and also provide that feedback either in the Discord or down below in the comment section. Because I genuinely do want to hear what you guys have to think. And I heard what the live stream said when we did it on Twitch, but I just want to, hear a lot of people's different opinions. So, I think before I start all this, we should kind of rewind back and take a little venture back to 2019. The year started off really strong. Like we had a bunch of events and stuff like that, and then we kind of got the TBs. But then like the later part of the years, we all kind of got this sense that we were content starved, right? And then like that's where like this word content is like, what does this mean? What does content mean? It was a very slow end of the year. Like we all knew that there's something coming out with episode 9, but we didn't know what it was going to be. So then they started like teasing these galactic legends. They started telling us like what they're going to be, and they made like a ton of posts about them, made a ton of posts about the hyperdrive bundle and how awesome that was going to be, but they didn't really ever tell us anything about like actual in-game content. So a lot of people did definitely get very, very upset, and it was sort of like they were trying to basically acknowledge the fact that like, hey, we hear you guys, we know that it's gonna be coming. So this is where that comment of like, we promise that we're gonna bring you guys oceans of content or something like that. And obviously, people have since always like requoted that. So this is just gonna kind of go through this, and as you can see behind me, I've got this awesome layout, and it's going to go through each month. So I'm going to try to make this less than 15 minutes. We're going to see if it works or not. And so we don't get much time to spend on each month, but let me know what your guys' favorite month was. Let me know what your least favorite month was. Let me know just what you guys thought in general of Star Wars Galaxy Hero 2020. So now we're going to start off with January. All right, so our monthly logging character was First Order TIE Pilot. Going back to the fact that we were going to be giving up these galactic legends, and we have had this build up for basically since like November. We knew that something was coming. So, and then the new character releases that happened was Resistance Hero Poe. He was kind of the last thing, at least character wise, that goes with the galactic legends, and we would soon find out that we need to R5 him. All right, so for content and events, now I know sometimes like content and events, like this is going to be kind of like people are going to be kind of probably like, oh, that's not really content. That's not really like the purpose of this video. It's just more like, hey, what really happened? What did we get? And so we got challenge tier 1 and 2, which was cool, and it gave new meaning to slicing materials and stuff like that, and different rewards. I thought January, whatever. We knew that we had to go through, and we knew that we're getting Galactic Legends sooner than later, so this all made sense to me. Okay, next up is February. So February had the Resistance pilot, and again, this is paying homage to the fact that we're going to get Galactic Legends, and this whole time era that we're in was sequel trilogy. And we actually got, I know it says characters, but we got two new capital ships, which is actually something that we had been asking for a while, because we just didn't seem to have the right amount of ships that we needed. So they gave us two more capital ships, which then actually put us in the opposite direction. But both those ships are actually pretty good. They still seem to have an incomplete fleet, so I'm expecting at some point we get some more ships for those factions. But as you can see, February, 0 content, 0 event, which is obviously now starting to pretty much anger people at this point, if it hadn't already angered them. So we'll move right on to March. Okay, and with March, we got Illuminar Unduli. I have no freaking idea why we got her or what that was supposed to signify. I don't know if it was supposed to be like maybe the start of Clone Wars. I don't remember if that was like aligned around that time. But I don't know. We got it. So I guess that's what we get. But we did finally get the Galactic Legends. They dropped, and to much people's dismay, I think like the relic levels, they went back and forth on it. You know, they said, hey, not all characters will be relic, and then they said like, yeah, okay, yeah, they will. So there was a lot of debate on it. The events themselves, I think, were a little bit lackluster, if we're being honest with ourselves. But overall, you know, I did put that as content events and or slash notes. We did get 2 Galactic Ascensions, and also too something to note was that the vets, Vet Han and Vet Chewie, got touch ups to get basically some resistance synergy. Okay, now we're getting into April, man. This is, again, most people at this point are not asking for characters. Most people are asking for some sort of game mode, some sort of something to do to spend their time, especially around this time. As you guys know, during 2020, you know, March, April timeframe is really when the country, like at least the United States, and I think for much of the world, started kind of going into lockdown. People were on their phones a little bit more. They got more playing time, but there was just really not much to do in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So we did get 3 new characters. Obviously, there was some pretty big hype with that. You know, there was always like this was pretty much the start of the talk of like, hey, is Moff Gideon coming? Is it going to be, you know, a legendary epic confrontation? You know, there's some crazy wazoo ideas out there, but overall, pretty cool to see those guys come in. And the monthly login was IG88. I think that signified that we were getting some, you know, Mandalorian content, bounty hunters essentially, that which made sense. So April, although no actual content and people are starting to get even more upset, was, I thought, a decent month. Okay, so now we're into May, guys. So monthly login character was actually Darth Treya, and you know there's multiple reasons why people are saying that it was Treya. Some people were just saying, hey, it's just CG's way of trying to be nice during this time where, you know, a lot of bad things were happening. And but there was also some people that said like, well, because she has an isolate ability and because people are in isolation right now, that's why they put her as a monthly login reward. Who knows? Honestly, whichever one makes you feel happier, I guess go with that reason. We did get the Rebel Y-wing. He's okay, like he's pretty good. You know, there's some things that I just don't like about his kit, but when he works, he definitely makes the Rebels better. That was one of the events that happened. You know, the May the 4th, we got those cool rewards that we always do, and then they also gave us the stay in and play. I believe that was their incentive that they were calling it. Which, if you guys remember, that monthly login reward was like crazy. It was a crazy amount of crystals, a crazy amount of materials and stuff like that. So all in all, like it was a good gesture that they put forward, and you know, but still people are very upset at this point because there's still no new game mode, there's still nothing new. Okay, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on this month. June, I think, was sort of the turning point for a lot of different reasons. The monthly login was Farm Boy Luke. That signified what was coming, which was Jedi Knight Luke. And we got Jedi Knight Luke, and we also got the Imperial TIE Bomber. Can't forget about him. I think he was actually the better ship rather than Y-Wing. He just seems to make the Imperial fleets way better. So for content, we got JKL's Hero Journey, but also we got Vader's rework. I'm gonna put that in there as content. He became way different. He's basically, I could have almost included him as a new character. Like that Zeta that they gave him just completely changed him. There was a lot of things that were going on at this time. If you guys remember, there was that whole Arnold fiasco. A lot of people, like I said, if you guys have been watching this video, you guys know for the past basically 6 to 7 months, people have been complaining there's not enough content. You know, the game is dying. Everyone kept saying that. People were very upset with how CG was not communicating and stuff like that. And all of a sudden they start dropping some of these really cool kits and really cool events. The JKL one was amazing. So this is the first month that I feel like people were like generally happy with the game, at least, you know, or at least with some facets of the game. I know nothing was perfect, but and this didn't certainly you know, win over everybody back onto, you know, the happy side, but I think this went a long ways. Okay, next up is July, and the monthly login reward was Clone Wars Chewbacca, which I think was going to signify the fact that we were going to get this Chewpio, as we have now called him. And my gosh, he might be my favorite character that we've gotten this year. He is so great. And it's just awesome that we actually got a skin or a character that has C3PO on his back. And also just his the fact that they actually got voice lines from the actor. Like, it's just everything about him is so great. And he just completely transforms the CLS team. So it was actually just super nice to get him. I remember playing the JKL event saying like I really want this character to be a playable character, and then we get him like 2 weeks later. I was super stoked. And then like a week later we get Mon Mothma, and so we got two brand new characters to the Rebel faction. I remember thinking to myself like, oh my gosh, I think we're gonna get a Galactic Legends Luke. I didn't think we were gonna get sequel trilogy guys, but we ended up getting them, but that's a little bit further on down the line. For the month of July, for content stuff, we got the Challenge Tier 3, and then they finally came forward and said that they were upgrading some things behind the scenes. For a long time, there was rumors about like, hey, the spaghetti code and like a lot of things. It took them too long to create new events, which is why it was creating this bottleneck for them. And they admitted it at one point, and then they denied it another point, and then they came out and straight up said like, hey, yeah, we were upgrading stuff. I don't know what the reason for that was, but since that time we have seen significant graphic increases, as they like to call them, the polygons. And I think generally, like, again, this Unity update was a huge turning point for this game and this year. Okay, for August we got the monthly login character of Stormtrooper Han. I don't know if that's supposed to play off the fact that he was like a stormtrooper, and then we got Piet, or what that was supposed to be. But either way, we got this guy named Admiral Piet. He absolutely transformed the Imperial troopers, no question about it. Anything that even is Emperor, or Empire related, anything with an Empire tag is better because of him. Excellent, kit. Can't say enough about him. Excellent character. For content wise, we got Galactic Challenges. That was our first one. So they had kind of like teased it before, but August was actually our first month of getting the first Galactic Challenge. It was definitely not smooth sailing. No one is going to deny that. I don't even think CG denies that. I think they came out and said like, hey, this was, we're still running tests on it. But I think most people would agree that where we are now with Galactic Challenges is actually quite well. So, and then of all things, we got new GLs announced, and so again, we were kind of building towards this Empire Rebel thing, and so I thought, okay, cool, but we would soon find out that that was not the case. All right, so now September is a really funny month. We had a monthly longing character of IG-88. I thought for sure that meant that we were going to get some of the other Mandalorian characters, but we got nothing, and this was sort of like a step backwards. They had been building a lot of momentum, a lot of communication was coming out, and then it was like in September everything just kind of stopped. At least from what I can remember. Again, you guys will tell me in the comment section that I was completely wrong. All right, moving right along to October. Our monthly login character was the Royal Guard, and again, just signified to me that hey, we're going into our Galactic Legends. The Royal Guard was highly tied to the Emperor, so made sense to me. We got JML, we got Sith Eternal Emperor. Not much to say there. I think everyone knows what those guys are. If you've been playing for the last 2 months even, you probably know what those guys are. So for content wise, we got Galactic Ascension, two of those, and I will say these were way better than the first one. And we were also given mod slicing 6D through 6A, which was, again, I don't know if it was a requested thing, but I think overall it actually, the way that they did it and the way that they kind of capped things off made it feel like this was okay, and like it's a highly sought after thing. And honestly, every week for me, when I get through Galactic Challenges, it's like the first thing that I really want to do. I want to go and slice really good mods to become even better. So I actually kind of I really like this. I didn't think that I was going to at first, and then now I'll say it, like I really do like the new mod slicing. And not to be outdone, November, our monthly login character was Boba Fett. I think whenever I saw that, I was like, gosh, man, this has got to be it, right? We're gonna get some more Mando characters. Mando was starting back up. So we did eventually get Quill and IG-11, and great kits. Again, they nailed characters this year, you guys. Like, I can't say that enough. I don't even know who our weakest character is this year. Probably either Y-Wing or Cara Dune. Like like all the characters they released this year were spot on, just really fantastic kits. And so no content though. Like either way was excellent to just see these two new characters and just know that now we have 5 characters, and that is typically the amount that we have to do an event for. So I was just looking forward to that. And you guys, last but not least, we moved into December, and the monthly login character was Kylo Ren. I have no idea why that is. I don't know if it was supposed to signify the, maybe episode 9. I thought maybe we were maybe going to get like another first order ship to maybe complete that fleet, and maybe, next month we get a resistance ship that would complete that fleet. So I'm not quite sure why Kylo Ren, but the characters that we got were kind of a surprise. Moff Gideon was less. They actually announced him, but then like just kind of out of nowhere, they did this like super nice move with Beskar Mando, and like how they're giving out shards, and like I don't know, it just seemed totally not CG, but totally welcomed at the same time. And then content wise, like for this month, we actually got quite a bit. Challenge Pit, I know a lot of people are probably gonna be like, dude, that sucks. I get it. I don't disagree with you. But it is kind of interesting in the way that it works. I think it's kind of blown out of proportion in the sense that once you accomplish it once, it feels like my guild, the first time we struggled, and then like every time since then, we've gotten way better at it. And now it just feels more like it's more annoying than anything else that we all have to be on at the same time in airplane mode. But again, I won't go too much into that. We also got the Hero's Journey for Beskar Mando. Great event from what I've played. I can't play it all the way, but like from what I've seen, it just looks amazing. And from what I played, I know it's amazing. We got Relic 8. That is to me the weirdest one. It just seems like such a standalone item. It just kind of was thrown at us like there was just like, oh yeah, hey, by the way, congrats on Relic 8. And I don't see any real need for anything right now, but that's not to say that something isn't coming down the road where you need Relic 8. And then obviously the most important thing that had happened in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes 2020, you guys, was that Quill got added to the Ground Wars, where you can have the Ugnaughts. And I just know that is what everybody was waiting for. So I remember specifically reading that in one of their posts. So glad that they made that one of their priorities. But all joking aside, guys, I personally will say I thought this was a great year for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. 2020 was, I thought, really good. I will not deny the fact that in 2019, I was starting to get a little bit burned out. I was like, man, is there something coming around? It's hard when everyone is saying in the April May timeframe that like, oh, the game is dying and all this and all that, to not believe in that. But I remember trying to say like, no, I think it's still fine and all this other stuff. But sometimes people will try to convince you, and I think there was a time where I was like, you know what, maybe it is, who knows. But I think now, looking back on it, I think we can clearly say that I think the Unity upgrade was a huge thing that was holding them back. I'm excited to look forward to, I'm excited to see what 2021 has, in store for this game. So if you guys made it here to the end of the video, guys, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if I missed something. I'm sure I did. I was just trying to give you guys big overarching events. Obviously I can't, talk about every single little thing that happened. Again, hit up the comment section down below. I really do want to hear your guys' input on what you guys think about this year and what you guys think about the game. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one.